My name is Jeff Mote. I'm a media personality. I work on radio, TV, also from time to time might be emceeing your event. Mental health for me is peace. It's peace, it's symmetry, it's balance in your life. When you realize that when one of those isn't in sync, when you're not at peace, when you're feeling like something isn't in balance as far as it's concerned, then it will always affect you somehow, either physically in terms of your health or mentally in terms of what you're going through within your thought processes. So for me, mental health, that's really what it speaks to. I think the main reason why men don't speak about it is the fact that you have to admit vulnerability, the fact that you can't be able to balance whatever stresses of life that are coming your way, that there's a shortcoming that you have that you can't deal with. And all through life, you're told to be a man, to find solutions. When someone is coming to you with a problem, they're coming with it because they believe you have the answer. So if you can't answer your own problems, I feel that's the hardest part, to deal with it, and admitting that to yourself is the biggest challenge, and then from there talking about it to someone else is even a bigger challenge. And that's why most men will find it's easier to suffer in silence. Well, luckily for me, family is a key component in that, in the sense that I do have people who I can speak to. And I say family, I don't mean it in terms of only blood relations. There are some people, and I think it's often said, friends are the family you choose. So even in that particular regard, there are people who I feel I can talk to and who probably understand. Probably because from where I sit, I see they've probably gone through the same things, can get where I'm coming from, and because of that, it's easier for you to have a conversation with that. But also for those much closer to me, the fact that I can trust them, I can let my guard down, I can tell them what's going on, and from there, even if they won't be able to solve it, it's not as bad. And if they see me in a certain mood, reacting in a certain way, they probably know why, and it's easier for them also to handle that particular space I'm in at the time. I do know of one, I think Amani Counseling Center. I think it's on Bagathi Way, if I'm not wrong. If I would take it personally, I feel if it got to a point where I can't deal with it myself, like anything else, you know, if I have an injury from my gym session or playing basketball, I won't say I'll go to the house and remain with a severely sprained foot because of that. And I believe it's the same thing with mental health. If you're feeling that there's something that needs additional support, you've spoken to people about it who are not professionals and they can't help you, then go and talk to a trusted professional, tell them what you feel about it, and get the solutions you need. It's that simple. I think we've made it seem like such a big deal, especially in African society, and it's just getting help. Imagine that's all it is. You go to a doctor when you have a tummy ache. You go to a teacher if you need, lessons in something. If you have an issue mentally or otherwise, you go for counseling. It's just that simple. I like the fact that the government has actually realized that this is a priority. The president also called it out. He's called it out severally in public fora, speaking about mental health being a severe issue. We've seen the number of suicides spike as well, and that is, I think, the worst part of this. I think that's the very end when it comes to mental health, because at that point, whoever who is doing that is convinced there's no solution other than taking their own lives. So in that regard, I like the fact that the government is cognizant that there's a problem here. Addressing it is something else altogether. I don't know how far they've gone in that particular regard in terms of making sure there are adequate facilities, toll-free lines I can talk to. I can remember during COVID, they'd put that in place. There were toll-free lines you could call for counseling, because it was a pretty crazy time. You know, even covering it in the news, it was pretty crazy. But after that, I would hope that those systems that are put in place to try and deal with the stresses of living in a pandemic during that particular time can be used, and they can find some sort of way to use that as continuity, so that now that probably we are past the panic level of the pandemic, there's still life stresses that are there. Use those systems that are in place, ramp them up if need be, so that more people can access these particular services. If it's a call, very many people have phones. You can call and have that chat with a professional on the other side of the line. I mean, again, like I said, mental health is an issue. Probably now we are calling it mental health. It is the vogue word right now. It's what everybody is talking about. But the stresses of day-to-day life, wanasemanga mental health is uptown, ukiwa downtown itangwa changamoto. It's a joke, yes. But at the end of the day, it's stress that you're going through and you need to find a way to get rid of it, to ventilate it, to find your balance. At the beginning, you asked and I said it's all about getting that balance in life, because there's no one who has life without challenges, but with the challenge comes a sort of relief. After you climb the mountain, there's a place where you go down. And if it's a constant climb or a constant descent, there's a problem in life. So I think the most important thing is, as you're going through this, just try and get the balance. If you can't find it, talk to someone who you feel probably can give you advice on how to get it, family or friends. If they don't have the answers, talk to a counselor, a spiritual leader as well, because at the end of the day, like I said, life is just balance. That's really, for me, all it is.